Okay, the first thing I do when I'm building a drawer is to determine the face plate, and the back plate, of course, would be left to right. These were the drawer slides. Okay, what I do is I'll measure this inside area, and to make calculations easier as far as assembly goes, I'll take that measurement and make the face plates, and I'll attach the sides to the back side of these. So if it's 9 inches, I just have to make a 9-inch face plate and back plate, and I'm all set. Now when I'm going to cut the dominoes, if this in this case is a small door, 4.5 inches, I will use the pins to register the 2 dominoes on each side for the front plates, and it's going to be the normal size domino. Okay, and if I was making a taller door, say it was 8 inches tall, I'd make a mark like there, 8 inches, 4 inches up, so 4 and 4, and then that I would use that mark to cut the center domino on all the pieces. On the side pieces, what I do is I make a mark. See the X? That tells me that when I cut the dominoes for here, I mark it up on the pin, and I know this is the inside of the drawers. Alright, now I'm going to cut the dominoes, and I'm going to explain a few things. I've got this piece here. This is going to hold the board inside, and I use that just as a safety piece and to keep everything steady so nothing, the bit doesn't ride up and chew up the board or shoot it to the side. I also use this one depending on which pieces I'm cutting the dominoes in. And again, this is just for safety and for getting everything square. Now, I make sure that I'm flat on this board here, and what I'll do is on the smaller pieces, I'll put my hand up top of the board to hold it in place and flush down. You will see how fast this is to do on the next video. Here we go. Direction to the first elongated one, and I'll use the X's again on the inside of the drawer. I'll place it against here, and then I'll place this on top to hold it in place. Okay, I'm done, and that took 2 minutes and 10 seconds to cut off all 8 holes. Okay, the next step would be to put all these little dominoes in the 2 front and the back plate, and then assemble this piece. I'm going to get the hammer those in, and again you use glue, and I'll show you the final product. Okay, I'm all set. Now I'm going to assemble this, and again remember, I've got this mark on here, and that's to tell me it's for the inside. With that elongated hole, what I can do now is when I assemble this, if I was off on my cut, if I made the dominoes all the same size, I couldn't correct anything like that if my marking was off. So that's why I use elongated one. Then I load it up with glue again. You're looking for that mark. Actually, I got two on this one from an earlier video. So I'm just going to make sure I got it right. Okay, that's the right way. That one's flush. Okay, here we go. Now put on the last one. And now you can see I can make it completely flush each corner. And again, these sides, everything is just perfect. So when I put on my rail slides, they match up really well. Nothing's off. And again, because I made it the width of the inside of the rail, I'm not trying to calculate how thick these pieces are. Sometimes they're not exactly the same, but the faceplate will always be cut the same distance. Alright, now I'll show you how I built this jig. So I made a particle board base, then I added, I've got a little bit of poster board, and then tempered masonite. And what I was trying to achieve is when the blade comes out, it's about midpoint of this piece, of the thickness of the drawers. And I basically use the same material, not this, I use something with a little bit more density to it for my drawers. I just use this because it's cheap to run this whole mock-up for. Anyway, I'll set it about center, and then if I mark the inside, then they'll always come out flush to the sides. Okay, and then what I use is I got these festool clamps. I routed a spot in each side, and I can do it right to the table, which is really nice. And then when you look underneath, you can see the clamps are in there. And then I will show you how I mount this base plate of the festool next. Okay, on the bottom of this base plate here, there's two threaded holes, and these little knobs came with my domino cutter. I forget which piece I took them out of, but I just screw those into the bottom of this plate, and then I just swing it down. And then I clamp it. I just like everything to be nice and sturdy so it doesn't interfere with my cut.